Welcome back, everybody. This is Facetious episode 69, recorded on Monday, April 17th, 2017, approximately 6:05 p.m. Central Standard Time. Look, I am so happy to be back in front of you again today. I am one of your hosts. I am Larry, a.k.a. Bluemanrule. We're hitting microphones, and I am joined, as usual, by my main Damien, the hot fire spitter himself, the cookie monster supreme. It is none other than a Mike, a.k.a. Scarfinger, a.k.a. Real Talk. What's up, dog?
So nice. I'm trying to get my stuff straight.
Okay.
So give me a second, man. It's been a weird day because normally I don't work on Mondays.
Right.
But because I had the weekend off to spend some time with the Pooh Bears,
okay.
I had to work today because I don't get no paid time off for quite some time.
Okay. So how did that go though? How did the visitation go?
Oh no! It's this weekend.
Okay.
I work Mondays so that I'm off Saturday.
That's right. In order to get off. So yeah, did it feel different being up in there on a Monday?
Yeah, man, it was okay. People seem to lose their damn minds on Mondays. I don't know what it is. Maybe because there was a day where we weren't there, and then whatever is happening, whatever's happening, just I don't know what happens during Sundays, but on Monday, all these people was acting crazy as hell. I ended up leaving late. Okay, so I ended up leaving late because I went to go check on some stuff. I wanted to make sure that all of the units that we use were locked up and all of this other stuff, right?
Okay.
And I saw this guy standing at the keypad.
That's so.
So I'm like, okay. So, but he was still standing there. So when I walked back in the office, I saw him on the cameras, and so I pressed the little intercom button that talks to the keypad, and I said, "Oh, you got to put your number in, and you got to press star." And he said, hey, I heard him grumble something, but I didn't hear what he said. Mm-hmm. So I went on about my business, but I left the thing open so that I could hear him put in his code and see if it actually opened. So he put in the code, it didn't work. And he was like, it didn't. I heard him go like, this shit don't work. So I got on and I was like, what's the name on the account?
Mm-hmm.
Like what's the name on the account? And he was like, no, fuck that. I'm just using the number that you gave me. His words. Those are his words.
What?
Fuck that. I'm just using the number. I'm using the number that you gave me. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the name on the account so I can look it up?
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of it's like, why do you need my name and blah blah blah, so I can make sure you're using the right code. And then he was like, well, shit, why don't you just let me in the gate? Well, it's already 6 o'clock. If you can't get in the gate now, when I walk out of this door, you won't be able to leave because it's an indoor facility, so you drive completely in the building.
Right. Okay.
So I'm like, well, you won't be able to leave, dude. So, let me know what the hell's going on. So he spells his last name really fast. So I spent a couple of minutes trying to find it. And I find it and I say, okay, I'm gonna bring you the code, but I need to see your ID.
Mm-hmm.
So I write down the code on a Post-it, I fold it up, and while I'm looking at his account, it says he must have been a jerk before, and in big red letters it says, please don't give out his account information to anyone.
Okay.
So okay. He must have had some issues in the past. So I'm like, no, I better make sure that I check his ID. So I walk out there, and he just kind of gives me the stink eye, like, y'all, I just did what y'all told me to do, like that type of shit. And I'm like, oh, okay, I just need to see your ID, and then I'll give you the code. So he fumbles for his ID. But again, I already said I need to see your ID over the intercom. Mm-hmm. And when I get there, he's standing there and doesn't have his damn ID out. Like, yo, I had to walk all the way over here. You could have just grabbed your damn ID, dude.
Oh man.
So he shows me the ID. I give him the Post-it, and he was like, y'all need to have this. Y'all need to have this somewhere where I can find it easier. And he has like what looks like his contract with him, and at the top of the contract, written in big blue fucking numbers, it has his gate code. Well, maybe it should have said it's my gate code.
Man, come on, son. Come on, son. Stop blaming people. Man, get the hell out of here, man.
Right. So I just walk away, and I just say have a good rest of your day. I didn't even go back through the door that's beside the gate. I walked all the way back.
All the way around. You didn't even want to see that.
Like, man, I'm like, man, fuck this shit. So that happened today. That's just indicative. And then this one guy called because he tried to tell me that I applied his rent wrong, because he owed a late fee already. And how it works is you give me some money, it applies to the oldest charges first. So he still had a $50 late fee, and he wanted to pay for the rent and not pay for that late fee. So he thought that I was going to apply it to just the rent and leave the damn late fee. No, it applies to the older shit first, dude. And he got like so hot and bothered with my coworker. She was just like, "You handle this." And he was one of those people that I can't fucking stand these type of people. You would rather spend your time being belligerent than to stop and listen to what the fuck I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking out for him. I was like, okay, I heard you wrong. That's not how this works, but I heard you wrong. I was telling him, like, look, I'll just waive the late fee, and then you pay me the $50 you were supposed to pay. I'll waive the other $50 late fee that you got because of how all of this works. When are you going to pay this? He said Wednesday. I was like, okay, I'll be here all day Wednesday. Come see me on Wednesday. I'll take care of it. But blah, 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 blah. And he just wanted to argue. Like, I'm like, I've already gave you the damn solution, dude.
Wow, man. Yeah, those people, man, they just want to be heard. And I'm quick to say, look here, man. Sorry, the same for me. I don't know, Mike, like after doing so many years in customer service, I have gotten to a point where I figured out that a lot of customers aren't really good people. And
yeah.
And I need to mitigate my exposure to you right out the gate. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat who joined us real early on. My boy Will.
Shout out to the homie AwakenedHeathen. He just got back from a little vacation and realized he got hit.
Yeah, it sucks, man. He got his I was just about to say that. He got his Xbox stolen. And he had his PS4 with him though. So he took that PS4 and still had that, but he had his Xbox stolen. So man, I hate to hear that, man. Hopefully you got renter's insurance or home insurance, right? Homeowners, and they can cover that. And hopefully they find the cat, man, because I hate, I do not like thieves.
They put out a police report, so hopefully if they try to pawn it off or something like that, they can get caught.
That's what's up. That's what needs to happen, man. But Mike, I had a couple of things I want to talk to you about tonight, man, because I think one of them is pretty funny. So let's get into it.
Okay.
Let's get into it. Today.
You gotta remind me to talk about my tweet and why I ended up tweeting that.
Oh, okay. We'll get into that just before we get into our other topic after this. Okay, so I'll put in Mike's tweet. All right, so today I was at work, Mike. I was at work and I saw a dude walking, right? It was early. I saw him, he like came in the restroom or whatever, and he had an edge up, right? He had an edge up. Okay. And have you ever seen a terrible edge up on someone? Like it was straight and all, but like instead of like coming down like normal on his head, right? Like his edge up came up to like right here.
Come on, bro.
I ain't even lying with you, dog. His edge up came up to like almost to the top of his ears. Like it was terrible. And I'm like, son, come on, son. Like who let you leave a barbershop like that? Now, thing is, it wasn't a black dude, so I'm pretty sure he didn't go to a black barbershop, but he could have. I've seen it happen. My barber.
Yeah, this is Facebook video where this guy went to a black barber, and he's like he had like the best experience ever, and like his his haircut was so clean, his lines was straight. Like he said, he'd never experienced this shit before in his life. Like,
man. So my question to you is, Mike, what is the worst edge up you've ever seen? Because, like, man, I've seen some terrible edge ups, but that one was
okay.
That one was bad, bruh. That one was bad. Like, it was. I don't know if it was proper, like, but it was, man.
My stepmom used to cut my hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she have any skills with the blades? Man, hey, and how bad is it? How bad do you get rolled upon or written upon when you walk into school?
Wait.
Right.
I was a lot younger.
Uh-huh.
I was a lot younger, so it wasn't as bad. It's not like elementary school kids back in our time really cared about how you having your edge up right.
Right.
So I survived because I was a kid. You know what I mean? I was a young Scarfinger.
Yeah.
I was a young Scarfinger. So I survived because of that. But bruh, I've seen some bad ones. I used to go to Norfolk State football games.
Mm-hmm.
There were some terrible haircuts there. My cousin cuts hair, and he is dope.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of cutting hair, nigga, I saw this shit on Facebook that I'm like, I wish a motherfucker would. So it's this dude getting a haircut, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the dude cutting his hair is cutting his hair with a hammer and a hatchet.
What?
Like putting the hatchet to the hair and tapping it.
What?
Tapping it and cutting his hair.
Chiseling the haircut out?
You know this one black people. But I mean the haircut. Now let me be clear. The haircut, when he was finished, the haircut was clean.
Okay.
But I wish I wish a motherfucker would pull out a fucking hatchet and a hammer to cut my damn hair. You are not putting a hatchet to my head, dog. Like, that's not how this is. No, I've seen some weird stuff on Facebook. I seen like this dude like lit the hair on fire and stuff. They put some sort of gel and shit in it and lit it on fire so that it was more spiky and shit like that. No, player, I just need you to use some clippers. Just some clippers.
Get some walls or some Andes out in this piece, and get going.
Yeah, just clippers, please. I don't want nothing special.
You don't want to be a sideshow? Is that what you're telling me, Mike? You don't want to be an assistant in a magic show?
Exactly. Like don't even worry about it. Like we good on this. Don't fucking do that shit to me. Don't do that shit to me at all. So.
Oh man, it's just crazy when I see stuff like that because I'm sitting out there and I'm looking and I'm like, man, that ain't even right. Like somebody should have told him. And even then, when his edge up was like it was lined up, like it wasn't fully bald. So it was like you could see the line, but it wasn't just the line and bald hair. It was like the line and it looked like it had grown in 2 days. And so it was just like all around. And I'm like, oh, come on, son. So anyway, that's what I see around me all the time, man. It's just a little interesting.
And then, like, you just can't go to everybody. Like, you got to know the people who know how to deal with with your issues. Like, I got a big fucking forehead. Like, I need somebody that knows how to line this up around here. I cut my own hair. You know what I do? I take the guard off. I cut it all off. I let it grow back. Like, that's all I do. I'll do nothing. Ain't no need to line up if ain't nothing here to line up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, because my barber, when I was in, my last barber is when I lived in Hampton. And he decided that he wanted to do women's hair. He was learning how to do women's hair also so he can make that money.
Right.
That good money. And then he decided that doing men's hair wasn't worth it financially. So he rose his prices and he wanted a tip. I'm like, no,
player. Once you get to a certain range, it's tough.
I left the barber shop that day, even though I let him cut my hair. I gave him the tip. I left the barber shop that day, and I went to the store and bought some clippers.
Right. Now I've had clippers since high school, so I've had them just to like keep me trimmed down and stuff, man. But like, yeah, edging up for me, especially in the back, is tough. I can do the face, but edging up in the back is hard. But man. Yeah, dog. So if you're watching this show, if you're listening to this show, make sure your edge up is tight when you go out in public. Like, don't walk around here looking like somebody drew watercolored in your hairline. Like, for real. Like, just
for real.
Pay to get it tightened up. It's only like $5.
Pay somebody who knows what to do with your hair.
$5. That's all you really need in any good barbershop is $5 to get a good trim.
Yep.
So, man. But you know what? I'll tell you this, and we'll get right into your tweet. Your boy Simpson hit me up, and he wanted me to tell you specifically. He said, "Tell that dude Scar that if this Battlefield, this Star Wars comes out that he's talking about, that he's seen. I guess he saw the Star Wars Battlefront 2 trailer. He said he will come out of retirement and go pick him up a game console and game it up with us. So he wanted you.
He ain't gaming up with me on no damn Battlefield or Battlefront."
Keith said he let his white girlfriend cut his hair one time. He said, "Don't do it."
Oh, you know what? I let my girl cut my hair only because I cut it all off.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I don't do nothing special. Like if I actually did something special, like if I needed like a Caesar with a lineup, I know, no, I mean maybe. Okay, so here's the only way that I would do that. Here's the only way that I would do that. I would get some of that barber chalk, and I would draw where the lines should be.
Okay.
And I need you to follow the lines. Like that's how I would do that. I need you to follow the lines, and I need you to do the chalk. But other than that, no. If I wasn't just cutting it all off, no, I would not. But I would have a professional do it.
All right, so Simpson gonna get a kick out of this because this is before he really kicked it around my boy Dave. So my boy Dave was our barber in college, right? Frat brother and everything, friend. Cut his tail off, right? So we were all in this pageant. We were in this AKA pageant, and he cut us all up. So me, Chad, Cecil cut us all up, and Dave was like, "Man, I need to go somewhere get my hair cut." And like the other people on campus who needed to cut, they were gone that weekend. So he was like, "All right, that's cool." Because he went to he was gonna go to Ottumwa, Iowa, to like this little center, the shopping center, and get some clothes for the pageant, and he did. And he went up there and he was like, "Man, I'm thinking about going up in here in the supercuts, man, and just having old girl, just having somebody." So,
okay. I did the supercuts thing one time, and here's the thing, because there was a supercuts not too far away from where I used to live, and a long time ago. I was at the mall because it's right there where the mall closed and they converted it to some other shit. But right there by the mall, I used to go to the mall. Parents gave me the money, said go ahead and get you a haircut. Supercuts was right there. So I went to motherfucking Supercuts. Let me tell you what happened in Supercuts.
I know what happened in Supercuts.
She cut all of it. She cut all of it down. It was neatly down. Ain't do now piece of line around. She ain't do nary damn of a line up was had that day. All she did was cut that shit down. It was the part that she cut it down. Like I got a Caesar. That's the Caesar itself was clean, but she did not worry about no parts of a line at all. This is back before I really had facial hair, so I ain't had no beard or nothing to trim up.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, listen.
Area line was had that day.
Well, you lucked out because this is what happened to my boy D Hull. D Hull, shout out to my boy D Hull. Dave went up in there, got his hair cut, got his hair trimmed. And he's sitting there and he's done. He's like, so he looked in the mirror. He was, because he couldn't really see because the lighting was in there. He's like, "Hey, look, G." And I was like, I didn't really say anything, but he already had an opinion. He's like, "All right, thank you." So he paid and went out to the car. He was like, "Man, let me see what this looked like, man." He pulled the sun visor down and opened it up. He was like, "What the?" It was so hot. It was like, "Man, why does it look like my forehead and my hairline is smirking?" Because his hairline. His hairline went down and like went at an angle, went straight, and then it kind of went up into the corner. I was like, that is so wrong. So Dave was hot. He cussed all 80 miles back to Kirksville, got back home, got his clippers out, went back in. He's like, She ain't even fade up the back like she was supposed. So he went in by himself. I was holding the mirror with him, doing it, fading his own hair up, and went in and did his own trip. Man, he was hot for about the next 2 days, bro.
I would have been too. Real deal. I would have been too. No, I would never go to. I would never go to anything that sounds like a Supercuts ever again.
Dog, I was like, I'm glad you did it because that means I ain't never doing that. So
yeah, go to Buttercuts next time.
Right. Man, I was like, boy, that was tough, man. But
and not butter, Butta, Buttercuts. You need to go to Buttercuts.
Buttercuts. I'm telling you, dog.
Because that's what we at.
It was crazy, dude. It was so crazy. I think the only thing she did was like one line on like the sides of the head. Like that's the only thing she really got tight. But man, he was so upset, dog. I mean, he was infuriated. But Mike, let's get in on your tweet, man. Like I said, Simpson is gonna jump back into this gaming thing based off of a multi-platform game, dog. So
I don't care about Battlefield or Battlefront. It's not really my jam. I do have EA access, so I will probably get my little 10 hours. Now let me ask you this question.
Uh-huh.
I watched the trailer and the trailer looks dope. Like if you care about Star Wars,
oh yeah, it looks good.
This trailer is dope. So is it an actual single player?
They said in the campaign you go through the different eras of Star Wars, so it's gonna be structured, kind of like that. So you're gonna have that going through,
and the fact that you're somebody that's on the other team.
Right. So I think you're just like
so if it's a campaign, that I will play what I can through EA access. But you're not getting much Battlefront out of me. Okay. If you get it for Battlefront, I will use a decent amount of my 10 hours to play that nonsense with you.
Okay, word up. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It looks pretty good, but let's get into your tweet. Like I said.
Okay. So yesterday, I hung out with the homie Chase for quite a while yesterday. And since he wasn't at home, and we still did our streaming thing, he wasn't at home, so trying to do a podcast was not really gonna work well. So he had his PlayStation with him, so we did. He played some Overwatch. We did about an hour of Overwatch. We took a little break. And we came back, and I wanted to do a stream. I wanted to do some more Prison Architect, but since we were both on the PlayStation, I decided to do Prison Architect, the PlayStation version. Okay. Now Chase kept having to leave because he's a little bit whipped. He's a little bit whipped. So he kept having to leave.
Get off, Chase. Don't let him hate you. Don't let him hate on you, brother. Check it off.
He said no. Part of the reason why he was gone for so long is because he whipped. But what happened?
Oh man, you cut off him. I think it's me cutting off.
Did he freeze or I freeze?
I don't know. I saw you freeze, but it's all good.
Okay. All right. So I decided to place something on the place. So I decided to play Prison Architect on the PlayStation. And a good time was had by all. Okay. And then I spent a lot of time doing stuff by myself because but so afterwards we were just sitting around talking, and I put on 2K16 because it was a PlayStation Plus download. So I just hopped into 2K16 while we were talking. I played a little bit on the PlayStation. I don't play much on my PlayStation, but since I was there with him and we were talking through the PlayStation, I just decided to play something while we were talking. Mm-hmm. So I get off the PlayStation. Well, I leave the PlayStation on, and I have a conversation with my girl about Mass Effect, and I'm trying to explain it in as simple terms as possible. A new game plus, and narrative, and playing on narrative mode. because I finished the game. I decided I wanted to go back in and play I just wanted to change up the story bits and see what was different about it. So far, not that much, but that's par for the course with Mass Effect. You make different decisions, and it doesn't change a whole lot.
Right.
You know, because they still got to carry you down the same general narrative path.
Right.
So they
depends
don't
on which lane you drive in.
They don't diverge too far. Like they're still going in the same direction. You just hop over this lane, you hop over that lane, that type of thing. So we had a conversation about that, and then she asked me about an architect. And because, you know, the first time I had to fight an architect, she was kind of around, and I kept complaining that I couldn't kill the damn thing because my guns and stuff weren't good enough. And so it took me a long ass time. I kept dying. I kept coming back, kept dying, kept coming back. And I just could not kill the architect. So I left, and I came back later to kill the architect on EOS when I actually had better guns to actually kill it. And I think she was around when I killed the architect on Vold. But even though I was a higher rank, it still took a while. So she asked me about, you know, that. So I was like, I'm gonna take a look at the you know, so I'm gonna switch over. So I went to the PlayStation, I went to turn the PlayStation off, and I pulled up my friends list, and I happened to notice that the prevailing sentiment, the new sentiment among gaming people is PlayStation has the exclusives, and that's the reason why PlayStation is winning. Well, I pulled up my friends list, and no one was playing exclusives. You know, there was Destiny, there was some FIFA, there was some, you know, like all multi-platform games were being played on my friends list. Like nobody was playing Uncharted, nobody was playing Horizon, like nobody was playing any PlayStation exclusive. The ones that were actually playing games, and surprisingly, I had a decent amount of friends on at that time. And none of them were playing exclusives. So I turned the PlayStation off, and just as a thought, I turned on the Xbox to do this thing in Mass Effect, and I looked at my friends list on Xbox. Again, same thing. People playing the same games. You know, like it was all multi-platform. I mean, even down to like I had a friend on both, surprisingly, playing Rocket League. You know what I mean? Like, so I just happened to look at it, and I just went like, everybody keeps talking about exclusives, but no one on my friends list. And my friends list, because I'm a podcaster, my friends list on Xbox has always been, you know, until the Xbox One, I've always been right at 100 friends. And when I get onto my Xbox, it's extremely rare that I have lower than like 20 something friends on at a time.
Right. Yeah.
So I see a pretty good sample of, you know, just my friends, and nobody on either console was playing an exclusive in any way, shape, or form. So I just kind of sent the tweet out like, yeah, y'all keep telling me about exclusives, but looking at both of my friends list on both consoles, nobody is playing an exclusive of any kind on either console. So why is this so important? Like, you know, like really, because their whole thing is this shit is important, and I'm not seeing the importance in my friends list. Right. You know, like, you know, on both, you have just a million people still playing Destiny every day.
Which I don't understand, but it is what it is.
You don't understand. Hater.
No, just don't understand.
Hater.
Don't understand.
Hater.
Don't
hate. I was actually talking about a real song. But you are the hater of haters, and then you always call me the hater. But yeah, so I sent out the tweet, and I only really got one response, and someone was like, yeah, see, that's what I was gonna say. He was like, that's what I always wanted to say. So I did actually get into Mass Effect. I went to Vold because I hadn't been back to EOS to unlock that mission, but I had unlocked the mission in Vold. So I went and I timed myself to fighting an architect, and on narrative mode, I did it in 5.5 minutes. Now, it wasn't even really 5.5 minutes, because about 2 or 3 minutes into that, it said my controller was losing battery, so I had to pause it and find a cable to plug my damn controller in. So that added more time to how fast I was killing this damn thing.
Man, goodness. Well, I mean, that's good. That's good. That's good you got it in. That's good that, like I said, man, but you did New Game Plus, bro. Like, when you do New Game Plus, you are ultra powerful.
Yeah, I did. See, here's the crazy part about New Game Plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
My armor and the pistol and the assault rifle that they gave me are all X's.
Oh, nice. Level 10s. Nice.
Yeah. Even though, like, you know, level wise, I'm on 7s and I just got to 8s. I just unlocked 8s. But yeah, the stuff that they gave me were 10s.
Nice.
Even though it was the standard pistol and it was the standard assault rifle, it wasn't nothing special about them. But yeah, that was.
They're still hitting hard though. They're still hitting hard.
But I'm on narrative, so everything hits hard. I had to switch. I had to stop fucking with Drac, and I had to stop fucking with Cora because they kept killing shit too fast. So
yep. Yeah.
So I went with Jaw, PB, and Vetra because they don't kill things as fast.
Right. Now, what I want to do, I want to reserve all our Mass Effect conversation because I'm going to have a roundtable at some point in the next week or so.
I ain't got too much else to say about it, but yeah, playing on narrative, like me, originator of the Nepo, think that shit is way too easy.
Right. Especially New Game Plus. Like, if you're going to do easy, do it straight out the gate, but don't do it on New Game Plus. You could just do normal and you will completely wreck stuff. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah. Oh yeah. And then the dude with the shield and the orb that flies around him.
The Ascendant.
Yeah. Right. I kill one of those in 3 shots.
See, that's too easy. That's too easy because they are a bear.
Okay. It was 3 shots with the actual gun plus some biotics.
Right.
I did 2 shots. I did 2 shots on the orb. The orb popped. He was wide open. I charged in. I hit him with a shockwave. Shot him once with the gun with the disciple. He was out of there.
That disciple is nasty, though, ain't it? I was telling you that's why it's my favorite shotgun.
Me personally, I like the Rieger. I like the electricity and yeah, I like the Rieger.
Oh yeah, Keith says he loves Drac when he smashes with the Krogan hammer. Yeah, he be bringing heat, dog, especially when they biotically lit. Yeah, he brings heat. Will says Destiny is a sickness, and Mark says it can be cured. It was cured for me because I apparently am immune to the sickness because I played it, I finished it, I got through. Yeah, the Disciple is a shotgun. What up, Rasta?
It's the Asari shotgun,
and it is beast, and it sounds different too. It sounds like so it sounds different, but it is great. I used it in Mass Effect.
It sounds like a gun with biotics in it.
Yeah, it sounds great. It sounds great. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful shotgun. And the Sidewinder pistol is off the chain. But
I didn't like the Sidewinder I found, so I never thought about making another one.
No, they're really good. They're powerful too. So
I found a 5 a while back, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I got this one, and then we only got 2 more topics and we done. So last week, you know, Mike had the infamous rant regarding all this stuff that went on last week about just the.
He said, "Where can you find it? You can craft it. Put some research points in it. You can craft it. You can find them around. Yeah, you can find them around, but you can craft it. It's nothing that you gotta like unlock later. It comes standard.
Yeah, Disciple comes in pretty early. You can research the different levels of it, and then of course you develop it after you research it. But man, that shotgun is monster. It is monster. I think I get 800 damage per shot. It's monster, and it's not even level 10. So last week Mike was talking and going off on the media, and you know I kind of got but this is what I was saying. So I guess this week me and Knox Broadcast were out on Twitter asking people about, hey, media influence is actually really, really high, and I've always believed that the media does influence people, and it really does. And I've also believed that even since last generation, that the media wasn't very even or fair in their scrutiny across systems. And I felt like it wasn't objective. I was laughed out of the building. I was, you know, and and constantly scrutinized, and Knox was yesterday as well, until we found these tweets that were tweeted out. And here's a link. Now, this is from PC at PC Brown on Twitter. He is a senior editor at GameSpot. Now, he says this. Now, this is a conversation thread I'm just going to read that comes out. These are all quotes because these are all written down. There's nothing added on top of this stuff. So,
are you reading it off the screen?
I am reading it off my screen. So let me go ahead and change the screenshot. Let me go ahead and share my screen to my application window. Put it right here and share. Okay. I really hope you guys can see this. How about that? All right. Mm-hmm. So okay. So there are some comments on his story about the Scorpio, and he says, "I'm not. Some people are trying to make cases for it." And then Crap Gamer, who is someone I've been following for a while, he of course Peter makes the comments about not being bought into the Scorpio just yet because it doesn't have games. Crap Gamer is responding, but you believe 4K was enough reason to purchase PS4 Pro. It's not about tech. Games matter. Yeah. And he said it. So right. So Peter responds. He said, "It's not about tech alone. Games matter. I see nothing exclusive to the Xbox on the horizon that interests me." And then Crap Gamer comes back and says, "But y'all consider the PS4 Pro when there was literally nothing releasing for a third straight holiday on PS4." And it goes on and it continues to talk, and he's talking about
Crap Gamer is an Xbox.
He is very slanted.
Very.
He is very slanted. But he gets down to the point that I want you guys to talk about. Now, someone else, actually, John Carroll says, "Do you own both boxes?" Peter replies, says, "Yeah, I have both at home. I own one and I borrow the other one for work purposes." He says, "So you objectively lean towards one side. It's okay. Just let that be known, because I think he's saying everything comes off as bias." He says, "You aren't making any sense. I buy consoles after a range of games that interest me." He says, and then he says right after that, and then he says, "Okay, but you're supposed to be objective, right? Because you don't want for Sony, so you're supposed to." Peter says, "I am not supposed to be objective. Keep in mind, senior editor at GameSpot, I am not supposed to be objective." Okay, next cat says, "No, as the media, you're supposed to be on neutral grounds when it comes to consoles, not biased toward the other or trying to be manipulative." Senior editor, you're wrong. Okay, that's one example. That's one example of people who believe. Now on Twitter. Now I'm going in, but because you went in,
I'm looking at the rest. And he said, somebody jumped in and said, "Do not argue with the Xbox fanboy. He's a cancer to the Xbox community." And he said exactly what he should have said. "I've been completely respectful, just trying to get to the bottom of this obvious Xbox disdain," which is the absolute damn truth about this.
Right. And then so Knox went out on Twitter, was like, "I don't understand why there's media bias." And then people coming at him talking about, "What are you talking about? The media, they're unbiased." You have people in the media right now who do not believe that is their job to be unbiased. So where in Knox's assertion was he wrong? Where in my assertion where I said that the media has undue influence on people was wrong? Neither one was wrong. People's perception of it was that it appeared wrong. So let me go on to another one. Now, I don't have the tweet. I can't follow the thread here on this screen, but I do have it saved because shout outs to Knox because he sent it to me. Now, this is from Jason Schreier, who is an editor at Kotaku. And he replied to a guy named Andreas Wolf. And I wish I could show you my screen, and I may put it as the note or as the art, or make it accessible in the show notes. But it says, "Nobody at Kotaku," this is a quote from a tweet, "Nobody at Kotaku has ever claimed or will ever claim to be objective. Objectivity is a silly thing to strive for." Now, this was back in September 10th, 2014.
You claim to be the media. You claim to be journalist. If you are a journalist, you're supposed to. All right, I know this is, never mind. This is your go.
No, you good. So my point is this. For all of you people who over the years, when we did State of the Industries and saying, "Hey, the media isn't being objective, they're not delivering objective truth, they're not doing the same type of critical analysis on all sides of the issue in the gaming industry, they're not doing it, and you laughed us off the mic and you talked down about us and you laughed about us behind our back, how you like me now? The point is,
I told y'all not to trust these motherfuckers when that Hillary dude, when that Hillary dude is exactly the exact moment when I realized how full of shit all of this stuff is. That is the moment, and I you know, it's you know, I knew. I mean, I had the feeling that this is the way things were going. But when that dude who was in charge of fucking IGN, of all of IGN, came out in support of the PlayStation, that's when I had the problem, and I realized that it was a problem.
Right. Now, the reason I couldn't find the tweet, the quote on Jason Schreier's timeline, because it happened on September 10th, 2014. So this was over 2 years ago, over 2.5 years ago. So my point is this: if you had someone who's working at Kotaku who had that statement 2.5 years ago, what do you think your news media has been for the last 2.5 years? Do you think it's been pure? You think it's been objectively unbiased?
People trust him, and y'all trust these people.
Right. And you know, Will, I agree with Will. He said media is always biased. Look at Fox News and CNN, right and left wing media. I concur. But here's my thing, Will.
Because
when you try
no. You can say that about it because it's politics, and politics are drawn along these lines on purpose. Mm-hmm. Politics is drawn along these lines on purpose. There is, and there always will be that division in politics.
Mm-hmm. Polarization works off of it.
Gaming is not supposed to be that. When you're reviewing a game, I want to know your honest opinion of the game, and I don't want you to be I don't want that to be colored by your favoritism over one platform or the other. And your favoritism of one platform or the other got us to the stupid fucking place where we are now, where it was all about damn power, and it was about peas and all of this stuff. I'm trying to lower. I'm trying to
bring it down because I want to get mine in because
you got us to this point to where it was all about power, and then you tried to tell us that you're journalist. You are not journalist if you are not objective. That's nonsense. You take that fucking title off of your take that part off of your title. You are not a fucking journalist. You're
an
just
enthusiast.
You're a fucking blogger.
You are not a journalist. And it even said it in that actual thread. It's like, so you're a blogger then, right? And Simpson is right. He says news is supposed to be unbiased when it comes to the truth. And absolutely, if you are purporting yourself to be news, then there's a standard and criteria that you must abide by. Now, the thing is, there are opinionated editorials all the time, but those are always prefaced with the term opinionated, right? So that we know what's there. Look, I equated it today. And I was thinking about it today, Mike, because you know how you and me are, we get down on food, right? So I was thinking about it today. I was like, that's like the media is like barbecue. And the media is like barbecue. And I'm coming to you to serve me some barbecue, serve me some information about a game. And you're supposed to be giving it to me at dry rub, just the facts, just the dry, raw facts. Yet you slather it and lace it in all of your biased sauce and juice. What if I don't want sauce and juice on my dry rub barbecue? Now you're sitting here, look at me in my face, telling me that you're giving me dry rub, but I see the sauce dripping off of it. Yet you refuse to acknowledge that it's wet barbecue. I have a problem with that. Do I look like a damn dummy to you?
Basically, when it comes to barbecue, I'm hoping that I'm getting that Memphis, but you keep trying to sell me North Carolina like it's Memphis.
Right, exactly. And Simpson says, yeah, those gamers are just selling you on their biases. They like ugly chicks, so they want you to like ugly chicks too, so they dress it up to make it look good. And it's true, because believe me, there is a whole lot of apologetics going on in games media. And No. Mark says, "Are you effectively blaming the gaming media for the?" No. I am not doing that. All I'm saying is that, is what I've been saying for years, Mark, is that I've been saying that the media themselves, and I even said it back in the 360 era when people were being unfair against the PS3, and I predicted back in 2007 that it would end up selling more than the Xbox 360 worldwide, which it did. So, but what I'm saying is that even when you try to call people on it, people call you crazy, but it's pretty clear when you listen to the tonality, the frequency of the articles that come out, and how they are constantly echoing one another, how there's really no critical thought put into it, how there's really more of groupthink than it is analysis. And it's problematic, man. It's problematic for people who go to these cats to assume that they're actually getting news when all they're getting is opinion. Difference between truth and the difference between truth and opinion is objectivity, right? So go ahead.
Right. I think that we're not blaming the gaming media for the Xbox One sales. We put in the beginning, we put the blame squarely where it was supposed to go.
Absolutely.
And that was on Microsoft.
Poor communication.
Microsoft fucked up Microsoft fucked up the marketing for the Xbox One. And when all of this stuff started coming out about the always on connection and all of this other stuff, it wasn't, we didn't have the right people in charge to actually sell us what we were supposed to get and why this was important. Now let's be fucking honest. A lot of people were worried about the always on. When are you ever off?
Never offline.
Exactly.
Not intentionally.
You were never off. So why do you have a problem with it being always on? Just the guy in charge, Don Matrick, didn't know how to sell it to you.
Right. He was a terrible salesman, but let's be clear. And let's be clear, because I want to make sure that it's stated here, because we've said it before. But no, Microsoft released an underpowered console, dude. They did. They went with GDDR3 when they should have went with GDDR5. That was problematic.
They released an underpowered console because they made the same mistake that all gaming companies do. All gaming companies have a fall when they believe they know what's best for you. Without getting your input. Like, you can run down the line from Atari. These idiots will buy anything, even a game that doesn't damn work. Downfall. You idiots don't need CDs. You can still deal with these expensive cartridges and it'll be just fine. Downfall. Right. You idiots don't need internet connectivity at all. Having an online infrastructure does not benefit you at all because you're idiots, and I'm telling you, you don't need this. Downfall. You idiots will pay anything for this, and I dare you to find one in stores. Downfall. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna make our console out of the most awesome thing that we can find. Doesn't matter that no one can program for this shit. And we're still not going to focus on our online. Downfall. You really, really, really need to connect in this box. Downfall. Right. Like, every single time, every single time.
Hey, Mike, you're going to care about TV. You're going to really care about running TV through your console.
No, I care about the Netflix.
Downfall. That's what I mean. That's downfall. Right. But yeah. So that's what we're talking about, Mark. Just,
but to be honest, let's be 100% honest. I use that damn HDMI pass-through.
You do use it now, yeah.
For my Fire Stick, which is fucking awesome. I use my Fire Stick on my Xbox, and it works fucking great.
But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. No, man, I'm not trying to pass the buck. Just saying that, look, I'm just tired of a media. I'm tired of an enthusiast press that keeps trying to claim objectivity. I'm tired of us assigning objectivity, because clearly to them, they don't believe that objectivity needs to be a part of it. They know their personalities.
And to be honest, let's be 100% honest. Downfall. If you take out the performance, if you take out the slight performance differences, because the differences are slight. Let's be honest. You know, you go to Digital Foundry and they tell you that some on Xbox is 900p, something on the PlayStation is 1080p, and let's be 100% honest, most of y'all motherfuckers' eyes can't tell the difference. Like, it was proven years ago. It was proven years ago that, you know, it was proven
and just last year with GameSpot.
It was proven years ago that most people can't tell the difference between 720 and 1080, but we're acting like the difference between 900 and 1080 is so massive. It's so massive. Oh my God, it's so massive. No, it's
That's what she said.
Yeah. All the time, dog. But like we're pretending like this stuff matters, and it doesn't. And hopefully, you know, it sucks that, you know, that the Scorpio couldn't put all of that stuff aside. Be like, okay, we have enough power. Let's start working on the stuff that's supposed to matter this generation, and let's come up with new and innovative ways to advance gaming. To advance gaming, and everyone is just saying, no, you got the power. Now we just want a whole bunch of stuff to play on this with the power. And it's like, well, if you want us to turn this around really fast, we're just gonna have to do what we've always done and just give you a bunch of sequels. We're not gonna have the time, we don't have the time nor the resources to actually do something innovative. I want innovation. I want innovation in AI. I want innovation in storytelling. I want innovation in, you know, all of these different things that's supposed to take this thing further. I'm gonna tell you what PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is.
Okay.
Stay with me now. Now, I often draw analogies to hip hop when comparing what happened with the community. Xbox, PlayStation 4 is Ja Rule 50 Cent.
Ja Rule 50 Cent.
Ja Rule was, in fact, furthering what music could be. When you saw Ja Rule doing all of those collabos and stuff like that, guess what? He wasn't just on those songs. Ja Rule was writing those songs.
Word up.
He was writing those songs. So
said yes.
So while you're looking at it from the perspective of he's doing something soft, what he was doing was evolving what hip hop should have gone towards. Then 50 Cent comes in. Then 50 Cent comes along and plays basically the power argument. Like you know, he basically he does the Boy Who Cried Tupac, and everybody says, yeah, we don't like Ja Rule anymore. And Ja Rule was like, I was taking this somewhere different. And then you let somebody drag you back into this gangster shit, and for what? For what? And then 50 Cent came out with 2 hot albums and then completely disappeared. With all of his money. But 50 Cent, hip-hop wise, has completely disappeared. And what we're left with is a bunch of mess that people like Ja Rule could have prevented.
You're right. Simpson said he was Drake before Drake.
I don't think so, because it's not the he was making hip hop love songs. He was not making hip hop brooding emo songs.
Bogus.
Like,
but I'm not hating. I'm not hating. Like okay.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, Drake makes a lot of emo carols. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people
he got to get his feelings out, or you know, allegedly his ghostwriter got to get their feelings out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. I personally like Drake. When Drake is on his rapping shit, like, there's not too many people in the game now that's better than him when he wants to rap. I'm not a fan of singing Drake, and I'm not a fan of like emo Drake, and I'm definitely not a fan of you Jamaican now Drake. I'm not.
Yeah,
like why did we start letting Drake make reggae songs? I don't know. Controller. And it's always weird because he started making those songs, and you're just like, wait a minute, he's from Canada. And I know there's a lot of West Indians. I know there's a lot of West Indians up there, but Drake won't never Jamaican until like last couple years. And no, we are not going to let Drake just all of a sudden become Jamaican. Like that's not how this is supposed to work. That's not how it's supposed to work. You don't become Jamaican. You are Jamaican, or you're not Jamaican. You don't become Jamaican.
Man, what about being immersed in the culture, man? Like, what about going in there and paying respect and homage to that culture is?
Is it paying respect? Is it paying respect when you just ape the culture and are not necessarily giving back to the culture and not putting on people that are already in the culture and have advanced the culture till now?
Well, if
you're not incorporating them in what you're doing, then is it really paying respect to the culture? It's not. It's the same way Drake got on in the first place. Drake was too clean, so they basically had him spend a lot of time in strip clubs and stuff like that to kind of build his edge and give him something to rap about. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it was very all about Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, because that's the places where they were sending him to build up some sort of a cred. Drake is manufactured no matter what. Like he's manufactured. He's just really good at this, and he's so charismatic that even when you're like looking at him from the perspective of, I'm not sure this is what it's supposed to be, he's as charismatic to stick out from it. And that's the reason why he's had the lasting experience over a lot of rappers now.
Okay. Well, I view it like this. So what you're talking about is him getting images and they can, reappropriated images. You know, businesses do that a lot. It's called intercultural accommodation. That's what I did my graduate research on.
We also seen it with Rick Ross. Now Rick Ross,
Rick
Ross. The thing about Rick Ross is he sounds absolutely flawless on everything, and he is by leaps and bounds the best beat picker in the game. Like no one picks better music than he does. Like it is the songs that he comes out with, the music is always slamming, and he sounds amazing over everything. Name one song. I know you don't care about modern hip hop, but name one song that Rick Ross is on or does himself that he doesn't sound fucking amazing on.
Simpson is probably waiting to type into the chat because he'll let you know. All right, Mark, appreciate you, man. He said, got to catch the rest later, #downfall. But we're almost done, man. We're about to wrap up. So thanks for dropping in, Mark. We appreciate you, dog. Next week. But that's really about it. Mike, I had one other thing, man. You got shout outs because I got a set of shout outs because it's almost an hour, bro. We got to get up out of this piece.
Okay. Thank you to BioWare for putting out a very solid product. I know that I have given y'all a lot of shit, bro. I gave y'all a lot of shit because I did not know what Andromeda was going to be. But after a while, I decided to give y'all a try and to have an open mind, and I was rewarded. I was rewarded because I had a lot of fun playing through Mass Effect Andromeda. The ending, while there's a few hanging threads in DLC, I know 2 DLCs that they should do. I'm not saying that that's what they would do, but we got 2 real big hanging threads that we need to tie up at some point. So I have 2, I have 2 really strong ideas for what some DLC should be, and I hope that that's the direction that they go in. Just thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody listening. Of course, there's a lot where there's a lot of places you could be, but just hanging out with us for a little while, it makes us feel good. Send us tweets and send out tweets about the show and all that kind of stuff. I tried not to go off this show because I really no, I didn't go as far as I thought I probably should. So it's we enjoy this, and we hope you enjoy it, even when we start ranting on fools and quoting Training Day.
All right, y'all. So again, I wanna give a shout out to everybody who dropped into the chat. Will, Simpson, Mark, Keith, AwakenedHeathen, man. Thank y'all jumping in. Really appreciate it. It's always fun when we can do it live and kind of read back responses.
AwakenedHeathen is sending me messages in Google Messenger like I'm not doing a show right now.
Right. So look, man, thank y'all. We really appreciate it. Hey, this week though, I do want to give sincere prayers up to my family. We lost my great uncle this past week, so his funeral will be Saturday.
So that did happen, because I know we talked about it before, that it was getting to be that time. Yeah,
and so so his funeral will be Saturday, so I'll be going back to my hometown then and going to the funeral and stuff, and just pray for comfort and peace. And we did that when we were in the hospital with them, but strength and everything for those to endure, safe travels, and yeah, man, hope that his story touches someone, because he lived a long time, brother. So look, man, that's really about it. Many shout outs to everybody watching and listening. Shout outs to my boy Knox for providing me always with some fodder. And next week I want to get to the rock paper shotgun article that I was sent from EL Bill, asking about what's the problem with open world games and things like that, and
nothing.
Quest.
That's the answer. Nothing. There is nothing wrong with the way open world games are. I do the side quests because I want more XP and I want more research points so I can get better stuff. And Andromeda, a lot of the stuff is focused on giving back to the story as a whole, and that's the reason why I'm cool with the way Andromeda does it. But all of these other games, like when I play open world games of any kind and all that kind of stuff, all of the side quests, I get something from it. And I'm not really it's fucking gaming. I'm not really that serious about it, dog. Like, it's a fucking video game. I know that this is what they have to do to make their game bigger. And you know what? It's all avoidable. So what is your problem with it? If you don't know that, if you don't want to do it, don't fucking do it.
But here's the thing, and I'll say this, and I'll leave it there, and it's kind of unfair, but you've heard me say this statement, this phrase, as a precursor to every statement in a post-Witcher world, and you haven't played The Witcher. But when you play The Witcher and you see how all 55 of those side missions were handcrafted by members of the development team and then actually tie back to his development as a character and the story, you will understand why that is in that article actually kind of exalted as a very, very, very good example. Now, Andromeda's is pretty good. Horizons is actually pretty good. And The Witcher's is really, really good. But honestly, The Witcher has redefined that role for those side quests. And I think that it's really a shame you don't like it, because I look, Witcher is like, and I'm not gonna say that because it's really more powerful, but The Witcher is like the Ja Rule of this thing, right? So like he really changing the game of how everything else is interpreted, and really is moving the entire industry forward. So I really want you to go play that, like, for real. And I'll help you walk through it on as easy a level as you can play through. But it is a great experience. So, but everybody, that's it.
Rest in peace to Charlie Murphy.
Rest in peace to Charlie Murphy. Absolutely.
I like a few other people in podcasting have thought about naming our shows Habitual Line Stepper.
Yeah, I watched that skit again, man. Oh my goodness.
Man. Yeah, and I hope that we're saying rest in hell to that guy who's just killing people on the street in Ohio.
Stevens.
He probably ain't. I don't even want to say his name. Fuck that nigga. But you know what? I'm against police brutality. Don't kill him. Whoop his ass. Whoop his ass.
Hey, they gonna do whatever they gotta do.
And let justice deal with what's left. But whoop his ass. When you find him, whoop his ass thoroughly.
And on that note, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Listen to Facetious number 69. downfall. That's what we're calling this show. Y'all come on back next week. Hopefully Mike will be moved into a new place. Hopefully we'll get everything going again.
Man,
so
we don't even want to talk about that.
We ain't gonna talk about it right now, but everybody will be back in your ears again next week. Peace out to the Warriors.
Peace out to the Warriors.